There we go. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing okay. Friday morning. Fantastic. Right now, what? October. Oh my gosh, I hit the button. October 23rd already. So, yeah, time's going by pretty quick. So, we're going to do a few stretches today, as always. Of course, you know that because it says Friday stretch. A little bit more advanced, right? So, if there's something that you can't do, don't worry about it too much, but observe, right? And learn of what you're going to be able to do later, why you want to be able to do it, right? And of course, you're going to see how the mechanics work. So take an opportunity to sit back. If you're not going to do the stretches, sit back, watch, and learn a little bit, and you're going to get there someday. So feel positive about that. Don't worry about it, okay? All right, so first thing we're going to start off with, as always, hydration. Some coffee. And water, which I've already downed my entire water. So if anyone knows where to buy a water cooler cheap, I need to get one installed down here. All right, so here we go. We're going to lay down and remove this mat because unless you're like me, i.e. a giant, you should be able to do this on any kind of mat you have. I would not recommend doing these advanced stretches on a bed, only because it doesn't provide the support you really need. Lighter stretches, not so bad. These ones, kind of a big deal. All right? There's one, though, that we're going to start with that you will be able to do. Okay? So, we've done this. See, look how giant I am. Like, huge. All right. So, we're going to do two things. One, we're going to do a pencil stretch, and we're going to do a relaxation. It's not even a stretch, really. It's just a relaxation exercise, okay? So, we're going to start. As always, remember, the heels are pushing into the wall. Arms are coming up here. Now, your fingers are going to be pointed. Mine cannot because I am enormous Shrek trying to fit in this tiny space. Right? And we stretch out, try to get that out there. That's it. Just a couple of seconds, not too long. Perfect. Just like that. Piece of cake. Right? Good. Ready for another one? Nice. Here we go. And stretch it out. Good. Perfect. Just like that. There we go. Nice and easy. So the relaxation exercise we want to show you at the end will be in the same position, so it'll be easy. But we stayed in the end to encourage you to watch the whole thing. Sneaky, I know. It's a marketing thing. It's not really my fault. All right, so here's what we're going to work out. I'm going to start a little bit lower body today. Okay, so we're going to start here with the hamstrings. We're going to work our way up into our groin area. Then we're going to work out our back, right? And then do a couple more from there. All right, here we go. Ready? So we all know this one, right? Back straight, hamstring out. Good. Okay. Now you're going to try to lean forward a little bit to encourage that stretch in the hamstring. Now, because we're doing a little bit more advanced, here's what we're going to do for some of you, not all of you. Some of you feel brave enough, right? You're going to give yourself a little tension now, okay? So now we're up. Got our back straight still, and now we're going to help encourage a little bit of a deeper stretch. Now you have to relax into this stretch. You cannot have a tense leg and try to push against it because you're going to cause potential injury. Definitely going to cause a hyperextension, which we don't want. So we relax that leg and just pull ourselves into a deeper stretch. Remember, got to keep that back straight, guys. We bend that back. This disengages. Pressure goes on the knee. So we keep that back straight. Good. Just like that. Good job. Right? Now, don't let that knee bend upward. Okay? As you're pulling on your foot, right? Don't let that knee come up. Okay? Keep that whole thing straight. Keep that tension on. And we relax into it. I know it's a little hard, right, to focus, to relax your leg, and not let your knee pop, right? So you got to kind of relax yet hold the pose at the same time. That's why they're advanced stretches. They're not going to be easy. Right? I know. That's the thing about fitness, right? So it's a matter of there's always a lot of challenges. You run into things, you realize that, you might not be as flexible as you thought, or you're flexible everywhere else in your body, but you got one spot that's a tough spot. Right? And it's hard and kind of frustrating sometimes when you're good at all this stuff. You're like, why can't I just get this one thing? What is up with that? And that's what that is, right? So don't worry about it. What's important is that you're here and you're trying, and we're getting better and better by the day, okay? So that's that. Now we're going to work on the groin. Now, we've done groin stretches laying down. This one is not quite the same, okay? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull those legs up, and you see my knees are way up high because my legs, again, like I said, I didn't pay a lot of attention to my legs. I thought the fact that they were as flexible as tree trunks, thought it was a good thing because it meant my legs were strong. Turns out, not so much, right? But hey, that's how we learn. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to get into this position. We're going to make use of our elbows, okay? So if you look, my arms are laid against my elbow. I'm not laid against my... Man, I need more of that coffee. My arms are against my legs. All right, so we get there. Okay, now we're relaxing. All right, so we got to make sure we relax. Relax slowly. Perfect. Now that we know we're nice and relaxed, here's what you're going to do. You ready? Yeah, it's going to be tough. You ready? Okay. We're going to take one side at a time. We're going to gently, see how I'm pushing it down slightly? You're not trying to force it to the ground. You just want a slight improvement. When it comes to stretching, you don't want to go and stretch from your, let's say this is your 100% natural to a forced, you want to do a forced 110%. Okay, you don't want to push it 200%. You don't want to double the distance that I can flex. Because now you're going way too far for your body. But you need to be relaxed. Good. One leg at a time. Good. Perfect. All right, now we're going to double it up. You ready? Using the arms that are here against the legs, we're going to push both knees down. And we relax that section. Good. Keep that back straight. I'm going to look at it back straight because I'm leaning forward, but your back's got to be straight. No slouching. Back straight. Good. All right, we're just putting that additional. So if you look at the distance my legs go from natural 100%. So natural 100% means this is where my body right now can flex when I relax naturally on its own. Right? And then we're going to do an additional 10%. And that's it. And we relax. 10 seconds. Good. So here's what you're doing in this instance like this, okay? So let's take your hand. You can do this experiment on your own. You take your hand. And you stretch it out as much as you can, right? Now, you can only push your fingers out as much as you like, as your natural 100%. But you can always, now do this at the base of the fingers, you can always push them just a little bit more. And you'll feel that added stretch. That's what we're shooting for in this, okay? Good. Now we're going to do a glute stretch. You guys remember this from last week? So, similar to sitting in this position, okay? Now we eliminate the back leg because this is our foreleg. This is the one we're using, okay? Now, from here, we're going to shoot to get our knee into our chest, okay? Here we go. Now, this one, your back is going to bend when you get lower down. I'm okay with that because you're holding yourself up on the ground, so your bent back is not taking the load of weight and gravity. So it's not so bad, okay? So here we go. We're going to go down. You're going to feel that stretch in that glute. Right? And when you come down here, you relax this folded leg. Deep breath. Right? We relax into that. Good job. Nice. Good, perfect. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to do it on the other. I mean, you can spin yourself around or whatever. I'm going to do this angle so you can see what's going on. And that. So if you remember how to do legs, okay, good. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to lean down. So now you're going to feel all here, just along the outside and a little bit underneath. And probably up into the belt line of your pants. You're going to feel it along your hamstring, which is why we opened up those hamstrings early today. We're stretching that glute out. Along with some other muscles, but focusing mostly on the glute. Doing great. Fantastic. Good. Nice. All right. Done. So the glutes are done. Right? Let's do a second one, because now I realize this one's pretty hard. A lot of people can't get both elbows on the ground. But now that you've done it once, you're going to realize that your second stretch, you're going to be able to get a little bit deeper. And remember, we relax, okay? So let's get it done. Again, one leg out of the way. Now, you're saying, Chris, why are your leg like this? Can't I have my leg like this? Sure you can, but I promise you when you start to bend down, you're going to get hip pain. This eliminates the hip pain. It looks harder than it is. All right? So down we go. And you're going to see already, wow, so much better already. First try. We relax. Right? So this leg's not pushing us up. Right? We'll let ourselves get as low as we can go. Nice deep breath. Good. Fantastic. All right, other side. Here we go. And you're going to find one side tighter than the other. That's normal. We as humans are not even. That's the way it goes. All right. Perfect. You're getting this. You're a champ now. Perfect. Nicely done. Good. Great. Good job. Now, here's what we're going to do. From this position, we're going to lie down onto our stomach. And we're going to stretch out. Now, when you're thinking about, there's two different types of movement. But some we encourage our muscles to be stretched, right? The spine is probably the only quote-unquote bone in the body that we want to move. So similar to a shoulder, you got to think your spine is like 25 different little joints, right? So same idea. We want to make sure those joints are able to move. All right? So here's what we're going to do. You're going to have your hands like right here, palms down, right? You can, in theory, do this. But usually when you have your fists like this, you're going to push harder. So this will kind of force it to push a little bit softer because we want a gentle push. And here's what you're going to do. This is a cobra stretch. You're very gently going to bring your shoulders up, right? And you see my back gets to stretch a little bit. Right? And down. Nothing big. 10 seconds. All right. And up. Good. Very easy. You got this. Perfect. All right. We're going to do another stretch right after. But halfway point, I figured, just a reminder. So yesterday, we added that spider, which was fun. Some people noticed it. Some people didn't. Today, there is another addition in here somewhere. I'm going to see if you can find it. But I'm not going to tell you till the end. So, all right. Next. I know, right? You're like, God, Chris, like, makes me crazy. All right. Next thing we're going to do, hands and knees. Okay? we're going to do a cat stretch. So it's going to tie into what we just did after the cobra stretch. So see, so now we're going to stretch that back the other direction. And back down. And when we come down, guys, you can come down a little bit more. You're going to notice you're able to do that. That's okay, right? So get it up. And down. Nice. Doing great. There we go. Let's do one more. Yep. Now we're going to hold it there this time. Good. And down. Perfect. Now, next thing we're going to do. From this position, we're going to lay into the child's pose. So we're going to lean ourselves back onto our heels. Now, if you find yourself going back only this far, that's fine, okay? But because we're doing advanced stretches, instead of just doing it this way, here's what you're going to do. You're always going to get in that position. And you're going to give yourself a little bit of a push. That 10%, right? So, get into your natural 100. For me, it's about here. Good. Now we relax our joints, we relax ourselves, and then with our hands, we finger walk a little bit deeper. And we relax. And back up. Good. So the second one, you're going to get a little bit better, so don't worry about it. Okay. Let's go down again. Good. Perfect. Now you're in your natural 100%. And we finger walk ourselves back an extra 10. Good. Remember to relax, guys. When you relax, you're going to feel yourself setting in, right? Sinking down. And that's what you want. You want to relax and sink down into that. All right. Well, you guys are doing great so far. How are you feeling? You all feeling okay? Good. So we're going to do some snake charmers. Okay. We've done these standing up. Now this time, we're going to try to really cross our legs. Now, reason being, why are we crossing our legs right now? It's going to make it a little bit harder on the core because natural instinct forces you to slouch a little bit. Right? So even when you're doing this, you might be slouching in the back. We really got to pull it up. And when you pull it up, you're going to realize that you're going to get the pulls and stretches on everything up here in the upper legs. You're going, oh my God, and it's going to keep wanting to pull you down. So again, advanced, right? So we go up and we turn to one side and we stretch. We relax. Nice. Perfect. Good job. Now this twisty one, you're going to get your natural 100%. If you can turn more, great. But if not, don't worry about it. Because you don't have that additional force to help you. Right? The other ones, we had gravity on our side, or we were using our arms or a towel. This one, we have our own body. So if you don't have that additional core strength to give that extra push, that's okay. Just hold it. Good. So now you're stretching out your lats and your transverse abdominis. Okay, so it's very important. These are things like twisting is an essential function of life, right? It doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's one of the 5 fundamental movements, okay? And it's because we do it all the time without noticing. And when we're weak and do things without noticing, that's when we injure ourselves, right? So you always hear these stories of people, you ask them, they threw it at the back, they're like, what'd you do? Ah, man, just turned around and grabbed a fork out of the drawer, right? Or reach down and pick up a piece of paper, right? Because you're not thinking about these things because this is a movement that you do naturally, but you're combining that with weak muscles that you don't even realize are weak, no fault of yours. It's because of the society that we live in has geared that And that's how that stuff happens, right? So that's why when you're like, I don't get it. I can lift the 100-pound box when I was moving because you were prepared and you were concentrating, you were thinking about it, right? So that's why we want to strengthen the muscles and the joints and the ligaments so that when you're doing things, you don't have to always think about it because most of the time we don't. We don't think about breathing. We don't think about walking. We don't think, right? We don't have to blink and say, okay, how do I blink again? Let me get my muscles in my forehead to activate with the muscles in my cheek. That nobody does that, right? You just blink. So same idea. We want that body in the important areas, the spine, the joints, the hips, the knees. We want the body to be strong enough to react on its own without having to think about it. Okay? So now we're moving our way up. Okay? We're going to work on the shoulders. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a couple of windmills. So it's just like this. Right? Now I'm leaning on my elbow. If you have shoulder pain, okay, you can come down here. All right? What's important is that this arm has room to move, which it barely does in my case because I'm giant. I'm going to scooch down a bit, right? And that you're comfortable because you can't be in pain while you're trying to do this, okay? Now, we're going to do a windmill, right? Now, as you come down, you might need to do this, right? Because this motion is not always easy. Now, if you look at my hand, I'm letting the rotation of my shoulder dictate the position of my hand. Okay? So you don't have to force your palm out because when you get here, you're going to be in this weird, awkward, painful position. This is a shoulder exercise. The rotation of the shoulder will dictate the position of the hand. And we're doing some windmills. Yeah, you're going to go a bit of an angle when you come down. So when we're going up, we want to really reach up. We want to get it up towards the ceiling. Right? And reach. So here, when you get down to the ground, if you're going to reach, you might have to be on an angle, or you can fold the arm, okay? This is just to return to position. We want to reach, keep stretching. Good. Right? So if you weren't reaching the first two, and now you just started reaching, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, okay. I feel that difference. Good. Remember, guys, your hips towards the sky, okay? We've got to make sure we're stable when we do this. Let's do a few more. All right, let's get that push, that big stretch in. Good. And one more. Good. Good job. All right, we'll do the other side. Again, I'm not going to turn around because nobody wants to see my keister, right? That's perfect. No giant I am. You know, it's funny sometimes when you're a big, tall person. Like, I'm just a giant in general, right? Like, I'm just big, tall, like a big Shrek-sized hands. It's almost comical when you're sitting on things made for average-sized people, and they're so tiny. Like my comically small stool. That's great. Like this mat. Now, granted, nobody's 4 feet tall, but this is a 4-foot mat. It's ridiculous. Doing great, guys. All right, let's do 2 more. It's just an hour. We're getting that big stretch naturally now. Perfect. Good job. All right, 1 more. Perfect. Good. So you guys are doing great. Okay, so we're going to do 1 bonus stretch. It's going to add for the groin and the lower back. For those of you that are feeling really, really brave. And then we're going to do our relaxation, and I will reveal the Halloween treat if you haven't figured it out already. Okay, so here we go. First, we're going to move the mat up. Now, this is going to be a little bit of me cutting my head off at the beginning, only because, right, we're going to bend down. So here's what you're going to do. We're going to do the splits. Now, I have a super sticky floor. If you have a nice hardwood floor, you might be able to slide your feet slightly. So here's what you want to do. You want to get to feel that stretch here. What you don't want is you don't want sharp pains. You just want that tension feeling. Toes pointed forward, not up. Right? Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to fold ourselves down. And that's really going to pull on that groin. Good. And we let ourselves rest for a minute. We relax into that stretch. Good. Perfect. We'll do one more. And you're going to notice you may get a little bit deeper. If you need, guys, you have a real slippery floor, you might need to put one foot up against something to keep you from sliding outward, okay? So we don't want you to pull anything. So even though we're advanced, we still got to be safe. Perfect. All right, now we bring it in. Just like that. We're going to do our one final super relaxation. Not a stretch in exercise, okay? So here we go. This, now, morbidly enough, it's called the corpse stretch. If you can imagine. I don't know who thought of that. That was not really original or very positive feeling. So if you have an idea for a better name for it, let me know. So here's what you're going to do. Very simply, you're going to rest like this. And now you're going to try to relax everything. Deep breath. And now I mean everything, right? Feel gravity setting in. You feel the muscles in your legs start to soften, right? Your arms, your shoulders. Don't try to hold your arms in a particular position, right? If they need to be wider, we're relaxing our entire body. We're even letting our face feel gravity. Deep breath. That's it. All that weak stress. Just let it all out. Calm yourself. Don't worry about anything. Just concentrate on feeling that body relax. Good, just like that. Right? We're just letting all of the stresses on our body, all the tension that we feel all week, kind of wash away, right? Just like water flowing off us into a drain. There you go. Excellent. Perfect. Now, I hope none of you fell asleep now on that. Careful now. That's relaxation. That's not nap time. All right. So, has anyone guessed or found the surprise today? No? You haven't? Okay. Well, some of you have. Good on you. You got a good eye. I hope you're still paying attention to the stretches. For those of you who have not, George Jr. over here is holding on to some gross, slimy eyeballs. So yeah, that's our final. Like I said, we're gonna have new ones every day up until Halloween, and then it'll soon be time for Christmas after that. So there's gonna be all kinds of decorating happening down here, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and yeah, we will. Yeah, that's it. There they are. I hope you found them prior to now, but that's okay. If not, that's fine, and it's all for a laugh, right? All for a good time. So listen, it's Friday. It's the weekend. Your week, you made it. You pushed through that entire thing. Congratulations. Now you have a couple of days to relax. Hopefully, it's going to be rainy. A good day to sit inside, watch some movies. Don't stress yourself out and just have a good time, all right? So until then, we will see you on Monday and have yourself a good weekend. And awkward time to sign up. Oh, I has knocked everything over. Boy, live video, huh?